All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Rawchaa Qadash. That's saying Yahawah, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly and stupidly calls God. Yahawashi is the name of his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly and stupidly calls Jesus Christ. And Rawchaa Qadash is the name of the Holy Spirit, all in the ancient Hebrew tongue, the Rawchaa Qadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to the brothers out here pushing this word in sincerity, truth, and in faith. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those of our people that very well may look exactly like the other nations, but their heritage, their seed line, their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Israelites, okay, the 12 tribes of Israel. And shalom to you few sisters out here that's listening in all humility. Okay, I have another lesson today, and I'm going to entitle it, And Swords in Their Hands. Okay, because as you probably already know, Texas just passed a bill, okay, to whereas you won't have to register your gun. You could walk around toting a handgun. I think even a rifle, okay? You don't have to register it, nothing, okay? Says breaking. Texas passes bill allowing Texans to carry handguns in public without license, okay? So we know what this is leading toward. Texas House gives initial approval to constitutional carry would allow gun carrying without permit. Okay? You already see who has the guns right now. Edomites, okay? Edom. Okay, the Caucasian, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. Okay? He's the one that's buying guns and ammunition. Jake is buying Jordans and gold chains. Okay, and weed, okay, and makeup, all right, all things that won't profit you in this day that's coming, even though a carnal weapon won't profit you, you know. If the Lord has you slated, you know, to get taken out by one of these carnal weapons, you know. It says House Bill 1927 would nix the requirement, which means to void it, the requirement for Texas residents to obtain a license to carry handguns if they're not prohibited by the state or federal law from possessing a gun. Texans under current state law must generally be licensed to carry handguns, either openly or concealed. Okay? So all this is working up to the civil unrest, okay, to the race wars that's coming. All right, and this is just another I don't know what's the word? The word is slipping me. But this is another, like, advancement, it's the only word I could think of, in them, you know, being able to, you know, bring forth the chaos that they want to bring forth so they can bring the order. Okay? But we know who it's for. I just want to put this in here to show you the difference, okay, between you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and the Edomites, the so-called white man, the self-proclaimed white man. Now these are two sheriffs wrestling with this guy. He done took his baton and beating them with it. he got his gun out in his hand. His gun is in his hand, but he's not firing it. The guy jumps in the car, locks the door. Okay? Somebody tell him not to do it. He starts the car. Okay? Backs up and dips out. Okay? But you could clearly see that officer had his gun drawn out. No shots fired, no nothing, not even a stop or you're resisting arrest, no screaming, nothing. Okay? Let's show you the perpetual hatred that they have against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Israelites, all right? And they got other things coming, man. Okay? Look at this. We was watching this on the computers like 10 years ago, and now it's out here in the public.
I've never seen nothing like this before in my life.
Okay? And believe me, these things they're gonna have guns on them. If they don't already, I'm sure there's already have a weapon on it. Okay? We'll be able to go into places without, any human going into your house, okay, and ordering you to come out. And if you don't come out, they're gonna blast you. Okay, this is the future is here, as they say.
Oh, that shit moves better than a dog.
Okay, she said it moved better than a dog. But this is where we at. All right, you can believe they got more than this if they showing you this. If they showing you this, this is their low level stuff. Okay.
Never seen nothing like that in my life.
Well, you seeing it now. Okay. So let me get some scriptures. First one I want to get is Genesis 27:41. And it says, and Esau hated Jacob. Okay, we know Esau is the self-proclaimed white man, and Jacob is the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Okay, and Esau said in his heart, that's in his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So it's been happening all the way back in the Genesis. This is where it started. Well, actually started before that when he was Cain. And he slew Abel. Okay? And actually before that, because his spirit was the spirit of the serpent, which beguiled Eve in the garden. Okay? 2nd Ezra 15:15. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And we know the sword is the modern day gun. Well, the modern day sword is the gun, Salat. All right? And we know that these Edomites, that was their blessing. He was going to live by the sword. That's what Isaac blessed him with. But the scriptures also say he who live by the sword shall die by the sword. Okay? 2nd Ezra 13:31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. Okay? That's pretty explanatory. It's plain. One realm against another. The in the spiritual realm. Because it says what? We don't fight against flesh and blood, but principalities and wickedness in high places. Okay, one people against another. All right, and Esau is fighting against Jake. You know, he's been going at it. Jake don't have any power right now to fight back against him, but the power is on its way. Okay, all this has to play out first. All right. Isaiah 3 and 5. And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient. Okay, and that's what's happening right now. All right. The child is Esau. Jacob is the ancient. And the base against the honorable. Esau is the base man. Okay, the Lord said he give the kingdom to whomever he choose, and he set up the bases of men over it. And then Job 9 and 24 says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. And Esau is a base man. Ezekiel 25 and 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. Okay. So this is future. All right. Because right now it seems like Edom is getting, the best of Israel. Like in all movies. Okay. You watch Rocky. Rocky comes back at the end. He's getting beat up, but at the end he comes back. It says, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, said Yahawash, of power, Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Okay? So, right now, like I said, it seems as though Edom is getting the best. But the Lord is going to put the spirit, okay? He said, according to mine anger. So that's the Lord's going to put the anger and his fury upon his people, the Israelites, and they're going to do what? According to the Lord's anger, they're going to see the Lord's vengeance. Okay? So even though they got the sword and all that, that's just part of the story. It says, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, alone shall be exalted in that day. Okay, so all this, them puffing and huffing and puffing, got their chest stuck out, because they got their little guns and this and that and the other, all that's going to be brought down low. Psalms 18 and 27, for thou wilt save the afflicted people. And who is that people? Israel, okay? The ones with no power, who all the nations have come together to go against, to make not a nation, to make the Israel not be known in the earth, under the true heirs of that name. Because the name Israel is in the earth, but they call them Israelis. They don't call them Israelites. They don't call them the Jews. They call them Jewish, okay? It says, for thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down high looks. And we know who have those high looks, okay? You other nations, but mainly Esau, okay? Evil E, all right? 2 Corinthians 3, 4, and 5, I'm going to read. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Okay? We don't need a gun. But mighty through the power, through Yahawashi, to the pulling down of strongholds. Okay? The Most High speaks things into existence. All right? It says, casting down imaginations and in every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Okay? Because eventually everybody's going to bow down, all right, to Yahweh Shem Yahawashi and the Israelites. All right? Obadiah 1 and 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau, okay, may be cut off by slaughter. This is the scriptures, okay? Read it for yourself. King James Version, Obadiah 1 and 9, okay? They're going to be cut off by slaughter. They have no problem slaughtering us. So why, not the Lord repay them and slaughter them since they haven't hated blood, okay? Obadiah, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right? In the day, verse 11, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. Okay, so they aided in the affliction, the Edomites. They aided in our afflictions. All right? They was like the invaders. Okay? Read the whole chapter. You'll see what it's talking about. Obadiah 1 and 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Okay, the northern and the southern kingdom. Okay, there's going to be fire. And the house of Esau for stubble. Okay, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahawah Yahawashi has spoken it. Okay, so there's no getting around that prophecy. Okay, regardless of what you think, okay, or what you wish, this is the prophecy. This is what the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahawashi said is going to happen, and this is what's going to happen. Okay, so Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. I just wanted to touch on that, since they got the guns and stuff coming out, and stress the point that our weapons aren't carnal. Okay, they're about to see some things they've never seen before in their life. The chariots are already making their entrance and making themselves known. Okay, so the power, the Lord is going to lift up that standard. Okay, so Esau, he could be mad and come at us all he want, but the Lord is going to win, and we're going to get the victory in the end. Okay, so I want to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim out here pushing this word. We have to speak this into existence on a daily, okay? And that's how we're going to get out of this peace, man, all right? So Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. Until the next time, I want to say shalom.